All right, welcome to Quarantini Day 3. Today we are going to make what I call the Dirty Dan, named in honor of my friend Dan Barad. It is basically my take on a whiskey sour. I had a request from my friend Bridget for some more expository information, some more background on how these things work and history. This is basically a whiskey sour. Actually, I had another friend who asked, how do you figure out all these different cocktails? And what I was telling him was, there's basically literally 6 different cocktails, and all the cocktails that you have are basically variations off of that. I asked him, do you know music? Are you a musician? And he said, yeah, I play the drums. And so I said, well, with the drum set, you have, you got a basic rock beat. So bass, snare, boom, bap, and you can change it up a little bit. Boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, like that. So a whiskey sour is boom, bap, and if you want to add it up, change it up a little bit, you can do that. It's just taking the bass and mixing it up. Once you know the pattern, you can do something else. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You look at a Rubik's Cube and it's really complicated, when really you can just memorize some patterns and you can take any random Rubik's Cube and solve it. So I don't know, what other talents do I have that I can analogize? I don't know. I have too many. Oh, I'm terrible. All right, so what are we doing? We're making a whiskey sour. A whiskey sour is basically a whiskey, lemon juice, and a sweetener. So this is and what is that? So you have the base. You have the base booze, the base liquor, or the base spirit. You have something a citrus, where the sour comes from, and then the sweetener, something to balance out the sour. If you look at a daiquiri, the classic, not the blended kind, look at a daiquiri recipe, look at a margarita recipe, a caipirinha recipe, gin sour, whiskey sour, they're all basically following the same template. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up a little bit to make it a little more interesting. All right, so with all that, now by another request from my cousin Mike Campbell, I'm going to try this a little bit different. I'll give you some shots of the actual bottles. For my Aunt Karen, I'm going to try to write out what these actually are called in case you can't understand me. But for this one, we're going to have Bird Dog Peach Bourbon. So this gives it some extra sweetness, and the peach is a nice little change to it. Just classic lemon juice. This is, if you really want extra credit, you could either use just normal simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water. This is Demerara Gum Syrup that I have here, and it's made by taking 300 grams of Demerara sugar, which is kind of a unrefined sugar, brown sugar, mixing it with 18 grams of gum arabic, which is basically hardened sap from the acacia tree. I guess that makes it kind of thickens it a little bit. You blend that up, blend the dry ingredients, start slowly adding 150 grams of water, and you sous vide that whole thing. So you put it in a bag, seal it up, and put it in an immersion of water at about 145 degrees. Let it do its thing for about 2 hours, and you end up with Demerara Gum Syrup. Again, that's a lot. You can either do that, or you can go to the store, wear your mask, whatever, and pick up some simple syrup. And then we have bitters, and the fun part is an egg, and we'll use the egg white from this. If you just want to make a regular whiskey sour, you can leave out the bitters and the egg. If you don't like egg white in your drink, you can just do these 3 and you have a real simple drink. All right, so I am going to attempt something slightly different and move the camera, so give me 1 second. All right, I really hope this works. This will give you a little bit closer view of what's going on. So obviously also we have ice, a shaker, something to measure it in. And I have a martini glass. I would actually rather have a coupe glass. These martini glasses, they taper a lot. A coupe glass is a little bit rounder. Maybe I'll post a link or something there. All right, so this is kind of a 2-stage process because what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix all the ingredients except for the egg and the the bitters, and then we're gonna add the bitters later. So here's how we do this. So this only has one type of alcohol in it, so we're gonna do 2 full jiggers, which is 3 ounces of the Bird Dog Peach Whiskey. All right, so that's the base. Then we add equal parts of lemon and, well, maybe a little bit more lemon than the Demerara Gum Syrup because it's so sweet. So I'm just gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon and just shy of 3/4 of an ounce of the gum syrup. This will be pretty sweet. So what you're doing here is basically anytime you're gonna add citrus to a drink, you're also gonna add something to sweeten it up. All right, I think if I try to shake this, you're not gonna see me, so I'm gonna move the camera again. Let's see how this goes. All right, so we got those first 3 ingredients in our shaker. Just gonna shake it up. Basically what you're doing is you're diluting the drink and making it cold. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour it into our glass. And then we're gonna remove the ice from the shaker. Usually I do this over the sink. And then we're gonna put the drink back into the shaker. So the reason we do that is because at this point is when we add the egg white. If we had done all of those ingredients, including the egg white, the ice just would have beaten the crap out of the egg white and it wouldn't froth the way that you want it to. So basically what we're doing, if you're a baker or a cook, you're making like a meringue. So you're just taking egg white, you're beating the crap out of it, or you're shaking the crap out of it, and there's lemon in here, and the acid will cook the egg a little bit. So usually I do this over the sink. Hopefully I don't screw this up. So what you do is you crack your egg on a hard surface. Some people like to transfer the egg from shell half to shell half. I like to do it just in my hand because you can grab a hard edge and break the yolk, and you don't want to break the yolk. So that actually went pretty well because I'm good at everything I do. And I don't know what to do with these egg yolks. I feel kind of bad just throwing them away, especially at the end of the world here, but I'm just gonna throw it away. So it's going in there. So let me clean up a little bit. All right, so we got the egg yolk in the cocktail shaker. The cocktail shaker? It's the end of the world with Mickey Mouse. And we're gonna just shake it up. You gotta shake the hell out of it. Because you really wanna get the egg white to foam. Ugh. They say wash your hands for 20 seconds. You gotta shake for at least 20 seconds. Really hard. All right, that's probably fine. So now, you just pour it into the glass here. And you are almost done. The last thing you want to do is you take your bitters. I just use Angostura bitters. It's the cheap stuff, it's fine. And you give it a little dash on the top. And actually, the last thing you need is a little toothpick. So this is what I did when I just randomly dashed the bitters from here. Just take your toothpick and like a what are they called? People at Starbucks, a barista. Just kind of make a little, I don't know, pattern here. This is not a particularly good looking one. Oh well, sorry guys. If you have some fancier bitters, come with like a dropper, and you can control better where the bitters end up. But I mean, that's basically what it is. All right, let's put this camera back. All right, so now you get to taste it. This is probably my favorite drink. It is really good. Yeah, that's good. Another nod to my cousin Mike. He asked for like a sweetness scale, so that's actually a pretty good idea. I can help to give notes. So let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, on several aspects, booziness, strength. It's actually not a very strong drink, or it doesn't taste very strong. Maybe like a 5 or something. I mean, it really only has the one alcohol in it. Sweetness, it is definitely sweet. Probably a 7 or something. The peach whiskey itself is sweet. If you did this with just a regular bourbon, it'd be a little less sweet. Demerara Gum Syrup is very sweet. I mean, it's a very drinkable sweet drink. Sourness, it does have lemon. It is basically a whiskey sour. It's probably a 6 or something like that. And the last aspect that probably a lot of drinks can be measured on is bitterness. It's not bitter at all. 0. I mean, there's nothing in it that would make it bitter. I really like it. What's fun about it is that you have the egg foam. It really gives it a nice mouthfeel, very frothy. Anyway, so that's the Dirty Dan, my take on a whiskey sour. One of the things that I want to do is put a link somewhere if I can figure out how to do it. I can at least do it in the notes to the video of a place that you can donate. Pod Save America, or the guys at Crooked Media, the people who make Pod Save America and Love It or Leave It, have a charity that you can donate to. It's basically a meta charity where they then donate to all these different charities to help people who are suffering through the pandemic. And the other thing that I want to do is potentially well, let's do it. I mean, no, potentially. What else are you gonna do? Let's do like a happy hour. We can make something really simple, like an old fashioned. Let's do that on Wednesday, whenever that is. Wednesday, the April something. So for that, you're gonna need your favorite kind of bourbon. You'll need simple syrup, or if you want to, you can look up how to make Demerara Gum Syrup, and you really don't have to, just get some simple syrup. And you'll need bitters. Angostura is fine. Yeah, let's do that. Anyway, happy quarantine. Stay safe, stay sane. Night, guys.